to the Perinatal Podcast. Welcome to the mini episodes where I read you back your emails. And you all, I'm like giddy right now. I'm actually like physically, I don't say it's not nervous, but it feels like nervous, but I need a different way to describe it because maybe I'm nervous about the technology piece, but even that pats self on back. I feel really optimistic about that too. So I think I'm so giddy because when I started this, I was excited to hear from you all, the listeners, my listener darlings, and get your feedback, your thoughts, your ideas, your stories. We validate each other through shared experience, through making sure that we know we don't feel alone. And it's been such a beautiful thing for me to get to read them back. I'm never annoyed with the sound of my own voice, I guess. I don't know. You all keep coming back, so neither are you. But when I tell you this is not hyperbole, when I got my very first voice note last week, 2 weeks ago, I was standing right over here in this. I was like walking around, getting my steps in, and I like heard it, what it was. I was jumping up and down. You can go to my Instagram main. I do a reel of me. I had my spouse record me because I was literally that excited. I was like, this is actually what I was doing in this moment. Today, I'm going to read you two stories, which are equally fabulous and wonderful and lovely and amazing. And if you don't want your voice on this show, I 100% have no notes for you. But today we have our first, and today we have our first voice recording. And I'm so excited. I can't hardly stand it. And like I said, I figured out the technology to be able to record it. I tested it, so it's going to sound really good through this, which is going to also be funny because those of you who are watching on YouTube are going to get to watch me for 2 minutes and 11 seconds just be like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. So excited. So, yeah. So thank you to the person who sent this in. Thank you to those of you who continue to send in your emails, your DMs and Instagram. I would love to hear from each and every one of you. So please email me, Meg at megdukelcsw.com. You can find me on Amplify Wellness with Meg on Instagram. I'm happy to take DMs there. If you are going to send a voice note, though, let's talk about the technology aspect of that. Email is probably going to be better than DM because I think those might get erased or I don't know. So, okay. I think I am nervous. I think I'm nervous about the technology, but here we go. Monotasking.
Meg, this is for you because in one of your mini episodes for your podcast, you said that you were hoping someone would send you a voice memo. So I volunteer as first tribute guinea pig for that. Um, there was something in the episode, I think your first story that you were sharing from a listener reader about getting distracted while doing a million different things. And I feel like this is happening with me a lot lately. The like trying to get my brain to not be so distracted. Like, how can I focus better? And I swear I've heard it or read it from multiple sources recently, which feels like the universe is trying to tell me something. And one of them was your April journal prompts. And I think it was today, actually. It was what distractions tend to throw you off track and how can you like manage them more effectively? And then the episode that I was just listening to for yours, you talked about this, and it made me think of the term that I'd read recently called monotasking, which is obviously the opposite of multitasking, and how it can be counterintuitive to think that doing one thing at a time makes you feel like you're doing things more slowly, but you're actually more productive because you're focusing all of your attention on that one thing and doing it well for the first time, as opposed to trying to do five different things and only giving, 10% of yourself to each thing because you're really just task switching. Because I think everybody should know by now, hopefully they do, that you can't actually multitask. You're just task switching very rapidly. So all that to say, I Googled monotasking and tried to figure out who had like come up with this term and if there were books about it because I'm a librarian and of course. And yes, there is a book. It's called The 12 Monotasks, Do One Thing at a Time to Do Everything Better by Thatcher Wine. It was written in 2021. I have not read it yet, but I will do so and let you know how it goes. But I just wanted to say that I'm not the only one. I love listening to your stories and I'm glad that, that I have a friend to share all of my crazy, not crazy, sorry, twirly energy with. So I love you. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I probably should have done that one last so I could just be like, okay, that's it. Now I can stop and go like curl in a ball and smile. My face split until my face splits open. But I'm Oh, thank you so much for that. I'm like, okay, should we do a book club? I don't, I think that sounds amazing. And the monotasking piece, right? We've convinced ourselves that by multitasking, air quotes, that that's the thing that we're doing more and more and more, but really we're not. We're just switching from one to the other. And so therefore we're doing it a lot of the times much less directly and much less to our skill level. So again, anybody who wants to send a message, if you never want your voice on this, I'm so there with you. I totally understand. It's a very vulnerable thing to put out there, but I would love to hear from you all. I would love to hear your voices. So or keep sending emails, which is what we're going to do right now. The sock drawer revelation. So I was looking for a pair of socks one morning, and as I dug through the chaos of mismatched ones, I got irrationally annoyed. Not just because of the socks, but because it felt like a metaphor for how scattered my life felt. Like nothing was quite put together, and I was always scrambling. That day, I dumped the whole drawer out and matched what I could. I let go of the orphan socks, neatly folded the rest, and closed the drawer with a surprising sense of calm. It was such a small thing, but it gave me a weird sense of peace, a little corner of order. Ever since then, I've made it a point to tidy one small thing when everything feels big and chaotic. A drawer, a shelf, the front seat of my car. It doesn't fix anything, but it gives my brain a little sigh of relief, and sometimes that's all I need to get unstuck. I mean, I love this so much. You all, those small things. Like once I spent like 30 minutes, I don't remember how long it was. It wasn't a terribly long time, but I spent and reordered my phone screen, my apps, got rid of apps I hadn't used in a while or wasn't using, put things in folders. And I remember that sense of like it's grounding, it's reorientating, it's really quite beautiful. I like that, like I said, it gives my brain a little sigh of relief. So it doesn't have to be the full redo of the entire closet, but it can be the sock drawer. And that really can bring us back into that sense of peace and that sense of accomplishment, little dopamine hit. Yeah, I could go on and on. Okay, next one. Third and last one here. Um, Taking both kids to the grocery store used to be the worst kind of chaos. Amen. Someone always needed to pee. One wanted a snack. The other was trying to ride on the cart like it was a roller coaster. I'd leave feeling like I just survived a low budget action film. Oh my gosh, so relatable. Then one day, before we even walked in, I crouched in and said, okay, team, we're on a mission. We stick together, we help each other, and if we finish without a meltdown, we all get high fives at the end. That little shift turned the whole experience into a game. They stayed focused, helped grab items, and even reminded me what was on the list. And at the end, the silliest, most celebratory high fives ever. We still do it sometimes because a little structure, a little fun, and a shared goal go a long way. That is amazing as well. Oh, I talk about Bluey. I guess I don't talk about Bluey too much on here, but I definitely have before. And I'm so grateful for some of the things from that show that are indoctrinated into our systems now here. One was it used to be such an argument for my kids to do a tactical P. They call it a tactical we, but we're in the US, so we say P and not we. Um, and gosh, how old was she? Not even yet two. My youngest just would not do it. But then inevitably, the last listener dear had Darling sent in, said someone had to pee. And it's so true. Or especially when you're on a longer trip, then you have to pull over and da, da, da. And especially when the younger kids, then one of them might have been napping, but then you stop, so that wakes them up. It's a whole thing. Tactical peas, I know are not the best for your pelvic floor. I want to hold space for that. I'm not encouraging there. Please talk to your pelvic floor PT about your own tactical pee needs. But for my kids, it's something that we do. And for on bingo, no, excuse me, on Bluey, they did that. And so my youngest, who is the younger, so she's the bingo, she would say tactical pee like bingo, tactical pee like bingo. And so now it's just a thing. Has everyone done a tactical pee? And it's like 95%, maybe I'm being dramatic, but like less dramatic for us. Like it's kind of a non-conversation anymore. So just those sort of things. And that's another thing too, was like, I'll time you. And there's an episode where Bingo goes to clean her teeth. And at first it was an argument, but then it became a game. And so then I'm timing how fast we can go. So there's a really long Bluey tangent. I'm sorry for it, but I'm also not, because again, that's why you're here tuning in. But it's so great when you can find things that can make it a thing, can make it a system, can make it something fun, can make it a game. I like this. And so everyone gets big, fun, silly, preposterously adorable high fives at the end of this. So big fan of that. Big fan of all of you all. Again, thank you to our person who was brave enough to be our very first audio sender inner. And I look forward to hearing all the rest of your stories as we continue on this journey in the mini episodes. Please be sure to go like, rate, subscribe, leave a comment. All of this stuff adds to the trajectory. The algorithm is happy when you do all of these things. I hate having to ask because I wish I could just do this and have that be it. But I do appreciate each of you taking, 60 seconds of your time, going in and liking, clicking, and like I said, even just a sentence of what you like about the show would be so great. So I look forward to seeing you all back next week for the full longer form episode and an interview with another expert. And until then, be curious, not judgmental, and we'll see you back here on the Perinatal Podcast.